Okay, I had to bring you guys out here because it is -1 degrees Celsius. It's not even the start of winter yet, but we've had too much warmth. We've had too many warm days. This is the typical winter now. So we're going to start off by looking at these Vanda falcatas. You can see that there's not a mark on them. That's adaptation for you. Now we must go up to the other side. I won't be able to stay out here for very long because it's that cold. I'm starting to freeze. You can see here. These three are the ones that I bought during late summer. I think it was around August when I bought these, and I wasted no time putting them in the most airiest, breeziest place that's close to the road here. And it's almost like a wind, very, very windy, fresh air circulation runs up and down here. You can see that there's the road. We have this angle now. It's freezing. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a permafrost starting up somewhere around here. There has to be a frost starting up under the ground. So, as I was saying before, you can see that the skies are very blue, and sun will be coming up pretty soon to warm up the Vanda falcatas. So they have to put up with these very low temperatures during the night. And yesterday we had the previous night we had that isolated shower that went. It was kind of brief for about 3 minutes. And on that particular day, it was 25% humidity. It's almost like a desert. This is kind of what goes on during the winter here. Now that we're in the real winter now, this is our real winter. I'll be expecting some temperatures that will go right down to even -8 degrees, which gets really, really hard on the plants. I can hear crunching. Yeah. So definitely we are starting a permafrost. The ground is quite solid here, and what's going to happen next is we're going to have crystals of ice plunging out of the soil, especially in tilled soil, or soil that's in plots, that's been tilled many times. You have crystals that can push out of the ground about this tall, ice crystals. That's in the shaded areas that are on the north side. Can have a little peek at them up here too. And how is the root ball? It's dry. This is never enough moisture to wet them. If we do have any rainy weather, it'll be very, very far and few between now that we've entered the proper winter season. You'll be looking at 1 to 2 short sprinkles of water, well, not even that, a couple of days per month. And as I said before, during our typical winter, that water that they receive, there will be just a little, and it won't even wet the root ball at all, because these actual moss balls will start to get really, really dry. They'll be almost 90% dried out and crispy to the touch, light and crispy. And even those 1 or 2 days we have a little bit of a shower of water, which will be like a spritz. It won't wet the moss ball. And in actual fact, when we get around to spring, which is right into May, I'd have to take them down and soak them. But you got to be careful about that, because you got to make sure that the weather is warmed right up and it's well into spring. That means that you get night temperatures that are no lower than 15 degrees and clear 20 degrees during the day. You want it above 20 degrees, there or above, probably 20, 22 degrees, and you want no lower than 15 degrees. And then you will have these persistent light showers during the May season, where it'll trickle water from the sky and it'll be quite warm. And at that time, the plants will receive their water, and you'll be tempted, like I was just saying. I got this thing in the back of my mind that I got to take them down and soak them in water, but that could be a fatal mistake, and you should just spritz them even during the springtime. And once the temperatures have heated right up and we're right into temperatures that are getting up into the 28, 29 degrees, and the night temperatures are no lower than 18 degrees or more warmer, and you got a t-shirt and shorts on and you feel hot, if you have only at that time will you soak them. So definitely even in the springtime, you got to pay attention to your watering for the Vanda falcatas. It's a gradual thing. I'm going to go back inside. Because these Dendrobium anosmum types, they're absolutely fine. They can put up with the cold. But, however, every day the sun comes out. So we got just forecasts of sunshine all the time. And every night it's going to get right down into these minus temperatures now. It's going to get typical. It's, however, not enough to freeze over this water. We would need about we would need probably another few nights of minus temperatures, so that the ground will build up that cold that it typically does. Okay, my fingertips starting to freeze, so I'll be getting out of here in a minute. I'll have to get out of here. It's looking a little freezy, frosty, and all the water plants are dying down. We all know this one. It's the Dendrobium baby green eye and the monoliforme there. Alright, and these things that are wrapped up, they are the cymbidiums. I wrapped them up in frost cloth. And there's two things going against cymbidiums. Number one, it's super low humidity, and number two, there is no rain, and number three, we go well below zero. And the three things that cymbidiums hate. That's why they're so hard to grow unless they are the native cymbidium, which is Goringii, which is underneath here. This is the native one to Japan. This is the one that has adapted to freezing temperatures over probably thousands of years. Okay. And that is it. And I'm going to go inside now to save my fingers from freezing. Thanks again for watching. We're going to do more updates. Bye bye. Alright, back inside, and it's 7:40 and the sun's coming up. So everything's starting to warm up now. This will be like every other day. We have the below zero temperatures. And of course, during the day, the humidity will start dropping back down again. Pretty low. Pretty dry out there. Inside temperature it's a bit of a struggle at the moment. The hygrometer is reading 60% humidity and about 17 degrees Celsius. It should go up a little bit more. We do have a little bit of the fan working just to take the cold off, take the cold away. And this brassiere has a tablecloth. It's the equivalent of a tablecloth, pegged just around it on the window side. And what I'm going to do to brassiere on the weekend is I'm going to check out. I'm going to cut away. No, I can't. I'm just going to have to persevere, let it go dry, even though it's not supposed to go dry. But the previous owner, my friend, the orchid lady, she's been letting them dry out every winter, and she'll bring them back out. She's been treating them like a cattleya, even though that typically a lot of brassieres, but not all of them. This will be one. This is Brassiere cordata. It likes to have a consistent humidity throughout the year and a drop in water, but not going dry. But in the case of we got that rot going on that has been cut away, you never know, it might take out that bulb here. I don't know yet, but drying out is a good way to stop it, and the plant can actually recover, even though it's not natural for it to dry out too much. If it's a large plant like this, letting it dry out is the best option, and it will hold on there. It'll produce some roots when it needs to, but that's one way of holding the rot altogether. And then it'll give me a chance to cut away this bulb here, even though that it has leaves on it, and get rid of that, and maybe get rid of the other ones that have the black at the bottom, which is not rot, it's sunburn. but about half of that plant will be cut away. I'm thinking of cutting it all the way back up to this section and keeping all of this front. And unfortunately it won't flower yet again. It'll just go into growth mode from the spring all through the summer. And the other thing is that I don't see many brassicas available whatsoever. I think everyone already has them in their collection, and people just don't want to buy any. It's not that they don't want them, it's just that everyone already has brassicas. I don't really have any, but I do like them. And that is the update. We just had to show you those low temperatures out there so you can have a look at it. But that is all for now. I must go, and I'll be updating a bit more. You can see the sunshine's coming in for the Brassavolas here. And right up at the top here I have my Lepidodendron falcatum. I decided to move it to a sunnier spot. Lepidodendron falcatum. As you know, it had that problem on the ends of the leaves. There was some kind of fungal spores that landed, but it's gone. I cut it off with a nice clean blade, a nice clean pair of scissors that I soaked in alcohol. So this plant is fine. It just lost the tip of its leaves. But things happen. And this plant has plenty of growing points. The goal is to get it to flower. Well, not the goal, the hope or the wish. But if it's not ready, I have no problem. You can see that this Sologeny intermedia has its flower spikes ready. That's 2, that's 3. It's only on one side of it, so there's the other side that I can't get to. This is one plant that likes to have water even in the winter time. And it has this shade cloth here because it doesn't like that much sun. It just likes warm sunlight, but any hot sun, it's got to keep away from it. Yeah, so I had a bulb that was growing outside of the pot. Sometimes they mount up on top of each other. Depending on the Sologenies, you have ones that kind of climb up on each other until they reach a point where they start falling over. They're climbers, and there are a lot of other Sologenies out there. They all have similar looking flowers. I like some of the yellow flowering ones, but I can't have everything. I'll just put it that way. You can see little buds. Those are flower buds on this epiphyllum. And it's actually got a node there with a joint and this leaf coming off, so there's a propagation. And that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll keep giving you updates on my Angraecum disticum, because it has buds. If you didn't see on my previous video, this has buds all along it. And until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you. Bye bye.